how the Transhumanist Party all of a sudden just took down their team members' page as well. Stuff's just getting deleted off the internet left and right, and I'm here for it because guess what? I already downloaded it all and I have it stored on multiple devices across multiple places. So go ahead and delete it, girl, because it just makes y'all look way worse. Hello, everybody. How are you doing on this fine Wednesday? I'm doing quite well. Long time no talk. There's a few reasons why I haven't been around. I have really needed to devote a good bit of time to research. As much as I love putting out a video every single day, and as much as that is my goal, the heart and soul of this channel is investigations and it is research. And so I really needed to put some time aside to do some research. Another reason is because a week ago today, I actually did get braces. I'm not loving having braces again, but wear your retainer because you're going to have to get your braces again. Anyway, today's video is a long time coming. Now, what I have done is taken quite a bit of fragmented information that is all available to the public and put it all together in a way that starts to make me wonder what it really is about Lima and all of these governmental connections. I have reported Lima, like I've told y'all before, to the FTC, to the FBI. I think I reported her to an attorney general. I reported the medical device, all of it. And I haven't heard a damn word back about any of it. What I will say is it's very interesting how connected Lima is to local governments, state governments, international governments, etc. So what I'm going to do today is just the beginning. It's the entry point into some of the evidence that I have found. Just yesterday alone, I found so much stuff. I think I could make 2 weeks worth of videos on it. So I will start rolling out this information in pieces. All of it's going to live here on That Surprise Witness TV. And then as usual, I will take the highlights, the big points and all that and put them into a BJ Investigates as well. But I know that y'all here on That Surprise Witness TV, y'all like to see every single scrap and shard of evidence. So I'm going to be showing that to y'all here, starting with today's video. One reason this video has taken me so long to put out is because I really wanted to focus in on Lima's business, Lima's words, Lima's decisions, and the things that Lima is responsible for. I wanted to get into the Amanda Rabb story. I wanted to talk about the twins. Specifically, obviously, I wanted to talk about Bam. So in the meantime of all that investigation, I have come up with a lot of information on a few other players and a few other businesses and connections of sorts, as you know. I haven't spent a lot of time on these people because, like I said, it wasn't my priority. And number two, I wasn't certain that any of them really even had any idea about Lima. Like she might be bamboozling people or something. I don't know. That's just speculation. I really don't know. So now I think it is time to start getting into some of those business connections and to start getting into some of those governmental connections. So today's video, we're going to start at that point. And finally, the last reason why I have held off on doing this particular video is because, like I said, it's a bunch of fragmented information all the way across the internet, all the way across the universe, all the way across the galaxy, and it's going to take quite a while to get through it. So I do have my thoughts somewhat organized here. I have a little bullet points sheet over here to the side with some of this stuff on it, and we're just going to get through it, and however long it takes, that's however long it's going to take. So some of this evidence is a little disjointed. I did the best that I could to categorize it to make it the most understandable. So as usual, it's a little bit timeline based. So let's get in our time machine and travel back in time all the way to the year of our Lord, 2014. That is the year that a woman by the name of Heidi Buck opened or established or founded the United States Navy's Battle Space Exploitation Mixed Reality Lab. Now, who is Heidi Buck? If you go to Heidi's LinkedIn page, you will see this cartoon AI picture. And as you can see, it says that she is in spatial computing, AR, VR, XR, ML, IoT, and digital twin. What's a digital twin? I have no idea. Didn't bother looking up. But as you can see, today she works for Amazon Web Services. So this, I just can't help but notice how much this looks like Ara's website, but we're going to keep going. Heidi Buck today works at Amazon as of June 2022, but she worked at the Naval Information Warfare Center Pacific for 19 years and 10 months from December 2014 to June of last year. And here she has all her different titles and things. And she worked for the Navy since 2005, it looks like, and technology, computer vision consultant, and student, programmer, all that. Well, anyway, all right. That's who Heidi Buck is. Heidi Buck started this battle space mixed reality lab in 2014. Battle Space Exploitation Mixed Reality Lab. As you can see on the bottom, Heidi Buck, director. So 2014, interesting year because it happens to be the exact same year that she decided to start looking into virtual reality and all of that type of stuff for treatment. And I'll put a little video clip in here to show where I got that from.
I started the company in 2019, but before that, I've been doing this since 2014. I had the idea, but I didn't really know anything about business except for the Shark Tank, watching Shark Tank in Canada. But, I had an idea. I really didn't know anything about business. And then I would watch Shark Tank all the time in Canada. And there was an event in LA that was a panel of investors, and you go pitch them.
All right. Well, fast forward 2 years to 2016, and that's whenever we do start seeing Lima appear on the internet, featured on an Instagram account and a Facebook page called Moof Monster Tech. So that same year, 2016, Lima from Aura posts that whoever they is, and I'll put the pictures up here, went to see a panel and Heidi was on this panel. Okay. So we joined the startup garage at this event, blah, blah, blah. And here is the panel. Heidi L. Buck, Raymond Moscow, whatever. Okay. So they're going to these events. I don't know if Lima was actually there or not, but that is posted from the Lima from Aura account. I think that account at that time was still going by Moof Monster Tech because this is from October 2016. And I want to show y'all something. Again, this is going to be a little disjointed, but I just have to lay it all out in some way for the first instance. And then I think I'll be able to make it more concise and like the BJ investigates. But let me show y'all a little bit of evidence that at the time of 2016, Lima from Aura was not going by Lima from Aura. She was going by Moof Monster Tech. Let me pull that evidence up right now. What you're looking at is a screen recording that I took just yesterday on Tuesday, June 13th, 2023. As you can see, it is an account called Moof Monster Tech with the same picture that we have seen on Lima's account. But when you click on it, it goes to a post from Lima from Aura. Additionally, if you do click on the about information on Lima's Instagram, it does show that the account's name has been changed at least once. So the importance of that at this point is that the Instagram account in 2016 was still going by Moof Monster Tech. And in 2016, Moof Monster Tech posted that they attended an event where Heidi Buck was a presenter. Let's fast forward another year. On August 6th, 2017, the Moof Monster Tech / Lima from Aura Instagram account posted 2 separate posts about the United States military and in particular about Heidi Buck's mixed reality lab. Let me show y'all. All right, first we have this one here that says, "Did you know that virtual reality helps mentally prepare soldiers for the combat and dangers of battle? It's safer and helps to forego the risk of death or serious injury during training and much more cost effective than traditional training methods." As you may recall from earlier posts, we have teamed up with the U.S. Navy's Space and Naval Warfare Systems Command to connect the U.S. Navy with the best tech hardware startups. Who's we? I don't know. I think it's Moof Monster Tech, which I was never able to ascertain that business even ever existed. There is a Monster Tech that exists that does make AR, VR equipment, but not Moof Monster Tech. Who is we? Who knows? But Lima's saying we have teamed up with them to connect them with hardware, with tech companies, basically. She says partnership deals are very case specific and have to do with the nature of Navy policy. It changes often. Spa War, which is that division of the Navy that's running the mixed reality lab, will be reviewing hardware and technology submitted to us via LinkedIn. Spa War or Spay War will review hardware and technology that is submitted to Lima. How does that work? How does it work such that you submit something to Moof Monster Tech and then they submit it to the Navy? I don't understand how a civilian gets into that position. I don't understand how a civilian is even trusted. How the Navy, the United States Navy, would even trust a civilian with no military credentials to screen hardware and technology that is going to be being used on real sailors. I don't understand. But listen, I've said this many times. I don't know anything about the military, the VA, the veteran, none of that. So let's read on. They're going to be reviewing the stuff that people submit to her, to Lima, through LinkedIn. And then she says, here's how. Just post your demos on LinkedIn and reference me, Lima Mora. Moof Monster Tech. Oh, it's Moof Monster Rec is what she tagged the wrong thing. Moof Monster Rec exists for you to help you. We want nothing more than to equip you with the tools to succeed. This is part 4 of my presentation slides and notes, understanding virtual reality and practical uses across industries. Questions, DM or comment below. Then she has all her hashtags. Okay, that was August 6th, but that's not the only thing she posted on August 6th about veterans in the Navy. She also posted this picture right here. Now, this was August 6th, 2017, like I said, and it depicts a Navy, I don't know the different terminologies, a guy in like a Navy, outfit or whatever, jumpsuit, whatever. And he's wearing some virtual reality type goggles, but they're not Oculus. They're not updated. They look old. And then you can see in the bottom right-hand corner down there that there is a person, their legs, their hands, and it looks a little old. This picture looks a little old, a little dated to me, right? Just on first glance. So this post, posted the same day as that other one we just looked at, says use cases of military applications for virtual reality include parachuting simulations, flight simulations, battlefield simulations, blah, 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 blah. As you may recall from our earlier posts, we have teamed up with the U.S. Navy Space and Warfare Systems Command to connect the U.S. Navy with the best tech hardware startups, right? The same script all over again. Partnership deals are very case specific and have to do with the nature of Navy policy. It changes often. BAWAR will be reviewing the hardware and technology submitted to us via LinkedIn. Here's how. Just post your demos on LinkedIn and reference me, Lima Mora. Now, again, interesting, Lima is going by Mora at this point and never explained. It's just still to this day has not explained how her last name could ever have ended up being Mora. She did say, I got married. Okay, yeah, you got married to Ivan, so your name changed to Yeverimovich, and your sister's last name's Takali, so I guess Takali Yeverimovich makes sense. But what's this Mora about? And look, she's going about Lima Mora back in 2017. So reference me, Lima Mora, and submit your hardware to me. It don't make sense. Anyway, all right. So then I have a whole entire video to do and show y'all on this particular picture because I did an extremely deep dive on this picture. Like I went in and found the metadata. I found the first time it was posted. I found this lady who's cut out, very mysterious. But again, this video is going to be way too long. I'm going to have to put that one in its own video. But just to wrap up, for the purposes of where we are right now in our timeline on Lima's government connections, there's this woman, Heidi Buck, founded this lab in 2014. And by 2017, Lima is purporting to screen and field new hardware and new technology that's going to be being used in this lab. Not only is there that connection there, but someone from Moof Monster Tech was at Heidi Buck's presentation back in 2016, a year before, right? Okay. Fast forward to October 2018, and we have another Instagram post. This time it's a dog as the picture. I'll put it up here. Again, soliciting people to submit hardware to get their hardware into that same lab. Now, this time we have a little bit more information, even though some of it is exactly the same. So let's look at this. Moof Monster exclusive is what it says at the top. Think you might have the next tech unicorn? We've teamed up with the U.S. Navy Space and Naval Warfare, blah, 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 same thing. Okay. To connect the U.S. Navy with cream of the crop top tech. Entrepreneurs, you can get your hardware into the Navy's mixed reality lab by pricing it strategically. Okay, so now she's telling you now she's giving you advice on how to get your stuff into the Navy lab. So I don't know. This is speculation that I'm doing right now, but usually when people give you advice on stuff, it's because they know how to do it. And since she is the owner of several startups at this point, I'm assuming she got her shit into the Navy lab, but that's an assumption. I really don't know. Let's read further. You can get your hardware into the mixed reality lab by pricing it strategically. Pricing your product under $3,500 will allow for an easy transaction without all of the complicated paperwork and the possibility of lost interest or rejected permissions in the process. With that said, if your product is a much needed tool, it may be worth the headache and time. The military is always looking for new hardware to test out, but they cannot buy from Kickstarter. Keep in mind, everyone loves free stuff, so if you want to get your tech into the Navy for testing, to build interest, or a possible partnership, you can always offer your product for pro bono. I don't know nothing about the Navy, like I just told y'all, but why would you want your product being used in a United States Navy lab? Like, what are the incentives for that? Are they going to turn around and give you data from those sold? Like, what is the point? What is the point? I don't get it. Just because what? I don't understand. Is it like they're using it to experiment on these Navy people and then they give the tech startup founders like, or maybe it's like they want to, I guess I understand wanting to sell it. Like if you have a tech that's below $3,500 and that's really what you're selling it for and you just want to sell some, like, sure. I mean, I guess that makes sense, but just giving it for free, or maybe I guess to build and I don't know. It don't make sense to me, but we have a lot to get through. So let's move on. Partnership deals. So this part we have kind of seen before, but this time she did spell Moof Monster Tech at least correctly. So even then, right? 2018, the end of 2018, she's still going by Lima Mora. Okay. Still telling people to post a demo on LinkedIn and reference her. Best of luck. And then all these hashtags. All right. So that's like the first bucket of evidence is this connection with the Navy battle space exploitation mixed reality lab, and in particular, her relation with Heidi Buck. Now she works for Amazon. I don't know if she even still works with the Navy and stuff like that, but she did work with them and for them for like, I don't know, 20 years or something. So, all right. The next bucket of information has to do with government contracts. And in particular, Lima has taken steps, or Aura, I guess, but Lima is the CEO, has taken steps to enter into some government contracts. There is a SAM certification, although that is inactive, and there is a cage code. At least at some point, back in 2020 and 2021, Aura, as a company probably driven by Lima, had done enough to get these codes and these registration numbers showing that they did intend at least to get into some government contracts. Now, these two things are in 2020, but remember, Lima did have another company called The Last Star, and she also did work for that Moof Monster Tech. So there is other stuff going on before Aura, right? It's gone back, at least according to Lima, back all the way to 2014. All right. Also, I just want to point out here that Lima puts as her name Lima Takali-Mora on the cage code application. And on the SAM registration, she also goes as Lima Takali-Mora, which is not the same as Lima Mora, but at that point, it adds up and it doesn't not make sense because Takali would be a maiden name and maybe she married a guy named Mora. Otherwise, it does not make sense. So was she married and then divorced and then married Ivan all within 1 year? I really don't know. So that same year, August 2020, is the first time that the crawler or the Wayback Machine picked up the Fed links and the SAM certified logos on Aura's website, and those logos can no longer be found on the website. So I'll put evidence of that in here. So now we're starting to get into more people connections. And this one I've spoken about on this channel before. It has to do with that guy from the Serbian Danish embassy or whatever, Nenad Matosevic. So I will put the, like I said, evidence, receipts, everything up here. But back in 2020, right around the time that Lima was trying to raise money for Amanda Rabb's treatment and take over her life and all of that, she had the team members of Aura listed on her website. And as I have discussed in a video or two prior, this man, Nenad Matosevic, he worked as the head of trade at the Serbia Danish embassy. And his bio and other places have said that he has experience in complex stakeholder management of both public and private sectors on all levels, including C-level executives and high-ranking government officials. So this man, at the time he was on Lima's team page on Aura, was working as the head of trade at an embassy in Serbia. Okay. Just going to leave that right there. All right. Now, remember this WTI logo? It means we, the incubator, and we're going to get back to that in a few minutes. So, in addition to that, Albert Manero Jr. told us that Lima works with the government in that Joel Marshall podcast. Interestingly, this too has been deleted from the internet, but thankfully I have it still because I downloaded it when I found it. And among other probably regrettable things that Albert Manero Jr. spilled the beans on, he told us in that interview that Aura was in talks with an Air Force base, Edwards Air Force Base, in order to use Aura as a, quote, case study. Okay. A case study is what he said. Edwards Air Force Base to use it as a case study. I'm going to put the clip here so that y'all don't have to take my word for it.
Joe, what we're trying to do with Aura is do what we did with Amanda for everybody. Mm-hmm. So because every single person needs mental health.
So is this happening? Are people using this out in the field yet?
We are doing case studies only right now because we want to prove efficacy. But when I say right now, we are going to go live before the end of this year.
Oh my God, that's interesting.
We're actually talking to Edwards Air Force Base right now about being a case study.
But like I said, that part of the video has been edited out and deleted. And in fact, the entire segment that Albert Manero Jr. is talking about Aura has been deleted from that podcast. Like I said, I have it though. Anyway, so let's just take inventory here. First of all, we have this Navy thing where Lima is accepting submissions for hardware that the Navy is going to use in their experimentation lab. Not only that, Lima from Aura's Instagram account at some point, even if it was called Moof Monster Tech at the time, had advertised that it had gone to a panel where Heidi Buck spoke on, and she was the director of that lab. We have Nenad Matosevic, the head of trade at the Danish embassy in Serbia, on Aura's team page back in 2020, whenever it was the height of the whole Amanda Rabb fundraising and trying to put her into treatment and all that situation. I mean, Amanda Rabb was the big case study, right? Guess it didn't really work out, but I digress. So we have those three things. Then you have Albert Manero Jr. coming out saying that they are in talks with Edwards Air Force Base to use it as a case study on veterans.
We're actually talking to Edwards Air Force Base right now about being a case study.
But wait, there's more. In April 2021, just a month before Amanda Rabb tragically did pass away, Lima posted a YouTube video to her YouTube channel, Lima from Aura, entitled Aura, Treating Mental Health Like Physical Health. And the description box of the video reads, Intro to Aura for grant submission. Now, if you look at this picture, Lima has her whole little Aura setup right there on that desk, right? That is her setup. That's got the little things on the table and it's got the little computer and it's all going. But look behind her. To our left, but it would be to her right behind her. There's all this like military regalia. What is those called? Like the stripes or whatever, like the little flags that you get pins or whatever it is. So that's on the one wall. And then there's these like fighter jets on the other wall. What does this look like to y'all? What does it look like? A military building. It's like some type of like VA center. Maybe it's some type of like, I don't know. There's a Department of Defense 4.4 miles away from Desert Hope, which is where Amanda was being held. For what reason, we never did figure out. I mean, Lima had Amanda transported across state lines from California to Las Vegas. We never really figured out why that was, other than the fact that Melissa McCarthy from American Recovery or American Addiction Centers was also on the team page. But that's a whole nother video itself as well. Who really knows? But this room to me, and this is just speculation, looks like a military room. This is just a small little piece of info. Like I said, I'm adding up a bunch of stuff all together. This in and of itself is not a smoking gun. Maybe this is somebody's office and they just really like fighter jets and military regalia on the walls. Maybe. But I would like to find any other pictures from inside this exact room in order to try and triangulate where this is, just to kind of confirm whether my suspicions are true that this is all being held in government facilities, but I digress. Now, in that same exact month, this video of Amanda was posted in the same exact room.
Oh my God! What the
I made it.
Again, look at where they are. Now, people are laughing at her and making fun of her and every other thing else, but it just makes me wonder why. Why is Aura set up here? Why isn't Aura set up in an office or a clinic or something like that? Or maybe it is the doctor's office that just has fighter jets on the wall. Who knows? All right. So that same exact year, 2 days after Amanda died, Lima showed up at the LA County Commission on Alcohol and Drugs to present about Aura and to present about her sisters and all of that. Now, I will show y'all here the file of what that was. I have not been able to get any video or any recordings of it. I don't know what she talked about there, but there is evidence that she did come and she did make a presentation. 2 days after Amanda died, she was back in LA making presentations about Aura to the LA County Commission on Alcohol and Drugs. Now, one person there was the sheriff, Baca, who eventually did end up getting in his own scandals of his own, but he was there as well. Okay, so I'm going to totally skip over all the connections that Adam Grandmason has to politics, like his dad basically single-handedly being responsible for Bill Clinton winning the presidency and then Bill Clinton pardoning Adam Grandmason's criminal daddy and letting him get out of jail early and stuff like that. I'm going to leave all that out. I'm just leaving that out. I'm not going to mention that because Lima did use that channel to run PR for herself and against me, but it only helped me because she then admitted to having all kinds of thoughts and ideations that she demonizes people for, but for some reason she's allowed to do it. She also lied about me, which is great for my lawsuit and just great for making me look better because I don't have to lie about her and she's lying about me. So sort that out. But I'm not even going to mention Adam Grandmason. I'm not even going there. I'm not even going there with the Grandmasons of it all. So let's revisit this guy, Sasha Poparik. I don't know how to say his name. Poparich. I don't know. I don't know how to say his name. But do y'all remember that Nenad Matosevich? I was like, remember that WTI because that's going to come in handy. We're going to need to remember that. Now is the time to bring that back up. So now we are on that page, We the Incubator, and we're on the About Us section. Now, this is not a screen recording. This is the live website as it lives today. So as you can see, this is the bio for Nenad Matosevich. And there's a bunch of people on this team page or this About Us. It describes itself as a nonprofit organization that empowers founders from all walks of life to become an entrepreneur of their own startup. No labels approach in order to bridge the gap between unprivileged communities such as minorities, women, LGBT, the homeless, and ex-convicts that we see are not as represented within the tech community. I don't really know what that even means, but that's fine. That's great. I'm glad they're trying to help people if that's really what they're doing. So we have this guy, Sasha, I want you to remember him, just to show y'all how LinkedIn they all are. There's Nenad Matosevich. Here's Lima, still Mora. And I guess Ivan's not on this one. But you'll see some familiar faces here. Jonathan Ross, Sasha, and Giselle. They appear elsewhere. For example, let's go to a website called The Broken Business. This is their page as of today. Again, you see this Jonathan Ross guy. We saw him on the last one on the We the Incubator. Giselle Washington, we also saw her on We the Incubator. Sasha, we also saw him on the Incubator. And on this one, we also have Lima and Ivan. Now, I don't have time to go through all their little bios and things on this, but these are the people mentioned here. So a good bit of overlap between The Broken Business. Oh yeah, so it's still listing Lima here as the founder and president of the Last Star, a corrections, education, and behavioral counseling organization with the mission of cutting down the incarceration rate within North America. This is possible by offering, quote, a second chance, an alternative sentence reduction and rehabilitation program customized to meet the personal needs of each offender. Okay, so still, this is today. This is the website today as of June 14th, 2023. Lima Mora is the founder and president of the Last Star. Her purpose is to cut down the incarceration rate. Seems like she might have changed course since all that, but I'm going to do a separate video all about this Sasha guy. And I'm really going to get into why I think, in my speculation, that he might be the one behind all of this in some way. But that is a story for another day. I just wanted to show y'all a little bit of the overlap between the people at the We the Incubator and the people at The Broken Business, including Sasha, Nenad, Ivan, Lima, and Giselle. Okay, so let's look at this guy, Sasha, just briefly. He is the CEO of Helvetia Holdings Group. and underwriter of We the Incubator, which I think means he funds it. He is in the field of internet transaction payment processing, which is very interesting because I think this relates to that giving.org organization in some way, but that's also another video. I told you I'll have weeks worth of videos on this. So this is just the entry point. If you're confused, I'm sorry, I'm doing the best I can, but it is confusing. He's in the field of internet transaction payment processing, content marketing, web development and strategic implementation, established numerous web properties that cater to the European community, generating millions of unique visitors per month, offers products, services. He has a degree in music science and electronics. He is in the hospitality industry. He has built successful nightclubs in Beverly Hills, California, Zurich, Switzerland. Oh, so it's just two places. California and Switzerland. Okay, so he has nightclubs in California and Switzerland, which is very timely because me and Jake just made that episode of our podcast about The Idol, where The Weeknd plays this character that owns a nightclub, but he's basically using the nightclub as a front for a weird cult where he's like abusing people. And so I don't know, now I'm just like on edge about this nightclub stuff, but I'm not saying that's what our good friend Sasha's doing. No. Okay. Most recently, he has embarked on a new endeavor, hotel and land development on the Adriatic coast. All right. So we got this guy, Sasha. Okay. Sasha has this broken business website. And now we are on the About Us page of the Broken Business website. And this is like, all of this is leading up to this crescendo here. Do you see this part? It says workshops, evaluations, and events. Startup evaluation week, once a month. We open the door to anyone with a good idea, help them understand their concept, blah, blah, blah. HHG workshops, Helvetia Holdings Group. That's his investment company or hedge fund or whatever it is. Helping entrepreneurs and answering all their questions is something we practice on a daily basis. Working with Tech LA groups and the mayor's office is a way of giving back to the community. But wait, there's more. Urban Tech LA, one of our most dedicated yearly events where our team from We the Incubator spends the whole day assisting urban entrepreneurs. And this event is sponsored by Mayor Garcetti and the city of Los Angeles. Okay, so now we see Sasha as the person in charge of this whole thing, the COO, CEO, whatever he listed himself as, saying in two separate places on the About Us section that he works directly with the mayor's office in LA. Well, there's even more evidence. So now I'm going to pull up a picture from 2018, and it is of the door of the mayor's office. Now, this one is from July 16th, 2018. And as you can see from Sasha's caption, it says business as usual. One of two things is possible here. Either Sasha is lying or he's telling the truth. If he's lying, that means he's saying he works with the mayor as usual, but he's lying and he really doesn't. Or he's telling the truth and it is business as usual to work directly with the mayor. So either he's a liar or he works with the mayor on many different fronts. The Urban Tech LA, the other working directly with the mayor on the We the Incubator project, and now picture of him at the mayor's office saying business as usual. So Sasha is representing that he works directly with the government. And Lima and Ivan are on the Broken Business board. So do they work directly with the government? Do they know the mayor of Los Angeles? Seems pretty connected. Seems like they know how to work the system just damn fine. Also, like I said, I'm going to do a whole entire video on this Sasha guy, but I did post an Instagram video yesterday showing that there was a post on Sasha's Instagram account as of literally yesterday. I took pictures of it yesterday of Lima getting baptized at the Serbian Orthodox Church in like LA or something. I'll put the video here. I'll just put the video here so I don't have to explain it. All right, so this post says Sunday baptism of a great friend and lunch at some church. Look, there's Lima. Let's scroll through and see about this baptism here. Oh, would you look at that? It's actually Lima right there in the middle. And who's that lady? And who's that man? Is it Lima getting baptized? It is. Lima getting baptized. Well, that is very interesting. Got that man, Sasha Popovich or whatever in the background. Look, we got a little May 6th, 2019. There's Lima in the middle with her little white shawl on, whatever it is. There they all are standing outside the church. Lima right there looking happy. Those people that were standing up there with her next to her. Here's just a couple of the pictures. There's Lima. There she is again. Just still shots so y'all can see. Getting her little baptism right there. Very interesting. You know what's even more interesting than all that is now whenever you go and try to find that exact same post, which I just recorded at the time of this, like definitely within the past hour, it's gone. Remember it was on May 6, 2019? Look, goes from May 5th to June 18th. I also sent that link to somebody and the link don't work no more. Thank goodness for this recording though, right? Now that video is missing. And somebody, probably Lima, some bot on Twitter they were like, oh yeah, make sure to use this evidence in your court case. Lima looks so guilty enjoying church with her family and friends. You dense. This isn't about her enjoying church with her family and friends. It's about the fact that within the hour of me following Sasha Popovich on Instagram, that video was gone. And thank God I took a video of it because now I can use it in court to show how they act. How about? Bitch. Anyway, I blocked that person. That's why I don't go on Twitter. Because it's people with no face and they lie about who they are. And then they're just obtuse and unreasonable. And I don't vibe at unreasonable level. I vibe at reasonable. Okay. Anyway. And then I guess, welcome to Christianity. That's what the post said. Welcome to Christianity. So welcome to Christianity, according to Lima's great friend, Sasha Popovich. 2 years later, I guess Lima was so good at being a Christian. She got so good at it that 2 years later, she started a church of her very own with Albert Monero Jr. Isn't that a miracle? Praise Jesus. Amen. And with your spirit. Anyway, there's a couple other little loose ends here and there that kind of lead me to believe that she does have a little more government connections that might be helping her to appear more legitimate than she actually is. And that has to do with, for example, the fact that Larry Rabb was a veteran and he lived in VA housing. She's said on many, many occasions, like to Mark Leta and also in these investment pitches, that she has worked with veterans. And then speaking of investment pitches, and I think this is actually the last bit of info, the last bit of evidence that I'm going to have for today's video. There are 2 different videos I want to draw your attention to. So again, this whole Lima's going to pitch her bullshit to people on the internet thing. There's 6 or 7 of these videos where she does pitches, and I have started to actually follow through the evolution of the pitch as she goes on. And we're going to do a whole video on that. But I want to draw your attention to 2 particular videos today. And both of these are from November. One of them is from November 2nd, 2022. I'm going to play the clip, but she says in this one, and I believe this is the only pitch that she says this in, that she is, quote, targeting government contracts.
What's your revenue forecast for 23?
Our revenue forecast is around $50 million, and it's conservative. It's based off of our current the treatment centers in my network, as well as my team members, and also the fact that we're targeting government contracts and insurance companies.
So as she said, she's targeting government contracts. And then on November 5th or 6th, she did another pitch. And in this one, she said, and this is the only time that she said this too, Ara's team has extensive experience in the healthcare industry, insurance industry, as well as government initiatives.
Our team has extensive experience within healthcare and insurance industries, as well as government initiatives. Extensive experience, government initiatives.
Now, I don't know if that was a slip up or a mess up, because she appeared on several more videos to do her pitch, and she never mentioned government again. She didn't mention targeting the government, and she did not mention extensive experience in government initiatives. Now, who does have experience in government initiatives? Nenad Matosevich, who's on at least 2 team boards or whatever with Lima. So there's all that with that. Now, there's also a connection with with the FBI and stuff, having to do with the president of the California Transhumanist Party, Newton Lee. But that is going to take literally a whole hour just for that video. So I'm going to just put a pin in Newton Lee and say, all of y'all are please and welcome and invited to go and do your own research on this. The only point I'm really trying to make here is just all the different ways that Lima has inserted herself or been inserted into government relations. And we're not just talking about local government, like on the mayor level of Los Angeles. We're not just talking about state level. And we're not even just talking about like national level stuff, federal, having to do with the Navy. It's international. Incorporates Serbia, incorporates Danish embassies. I mean, this is something that's like, this is a huge operation. And this is something that Lima at least is trying to appear to make seem very legitimate. Now, a piece of advice, if you want to be taken seriously as a company, and in particular as a company associated with, backed by, and supported by the government, maybe get somebody who doesn't talk like a fifth grader trying to do a book report reading from a script every damn time they make a pitch about this thing. Another thing too that I really want to look into is she did not disclose the litigation in any of these pitches. And I don't know, I'm not an expert or anything, but I will become one very soon. I'm pretty sure that on your first contact with a potential investor, you're supposed to disclose material items such as litigation going on in your company. And Lima did not discuss litigation in any of them 5-7 times that she went and did that pitch. So I don't know. Lima is in an active lawsuit right now, and so is Aura. So I don't know if that should have been disclosed, but I will be doing an investigation into that. And that's all I really had for today. I mean, like I said, most of these different topics could have been like individual videos of their own, and many of them will be individual videos of their own where we're going to really get into the fine grained details, like especially about this Sasha guy and about this Newton Lee guy and how the Transhumanist Party all of a sudden just took down their team members page as well. Stuff's just getting deleted off the internet left and right. And I'm here for it because guess what? I already downloaded it all and I have it stored on multiple devices across multiple places. So go ahead and delete it, girl, because it just makes y'all look way worse. Just makes y'all look way worse. That's all I really had for today. In the meantime, facts ain't defamation. Love you, mean it. Okay, bye.